Hi everyone. I am preparing to do Crafting with Isabel's birthday challenge. I won't share this till after she receives it and hopefully shares it with people. Um, but her challenge doesn't close out until I think mid-February or maybe even March. I can't remember. Anyway, she wants something for a junk journal and in a vintage look. Now, I have not done junk journals in the past and I struggle a little bit with vintage. I have the Simple Stories new vintage love story, but I didn't want to use that for this. And I remember I had this paper from Stampin' Up! Pressed Petals Specialty Designer Series paper, and I have a lot of it. I actually have an extra pack of it because that's not open because I love it. And it has gorgeous papers. Maybe they're too bright, but it has some what I think looks sort of vintagey stuff. This to me looks vintagey. And I can distress things. There's some wood. This one has this kind of scripty. I think I already showed that, and I think she likes blue, but this has colors, but it also has its own like burlap, and I thought if I tear it and do stuff, I can do stuff with it. I love this too, and I have a little piece I can use for something, like I have some scraps. These haven't even been cut into yet. Here's another piece of that one that was cut into. Oops. And I just dropped a piece. And then all these scraps I could use, to make pockets or something. So I think I'm going to use this. I hope she'll be, look at this one. Maybe. Isn't that gorgeous? I think I want to use that in it. I don't even know what sheet of paper that's from. The one that has green music notes on it. See, that one's cut weird. But I can use the green music notes there, and then this. And then there's that, the back of that has, I don't know if she likes green though. But there's other cut aparts in here too. And, strips left over, that's cute. Not very vintagey though. And then there's just greenery and, oh, and this side is like linen or burlap. So I think I can do something with this and make it look more vintagey. Maybe not these bright ones. Although I love those too, but maybe this one, some of this, and the ones on the back that look like burlap and stuff, wherever that was, that one. So I think I'm going to work with this and see what I can come up with, and when I have it finished, I'll do a walkthrough with you and let me know if you think I hit vintage, and I hope, Isabel, I hope you like it. All right, see you soon. Hey everyone, I think I found this sheet that I like better. It has this on the back, and then I think I'm going to pair it with this greenery, but mostly I like this. And then I have had in my stash unopened for many years this Julie Nutting Buff A4 paper pad, and I pulled out this piece that I thought would look good. It's a thicker cardstock, so if I want to make tags or anything, I'll probably use this. And I also brought in, this is new, Notes of Nature. This is the wrong die. Anyway, there's a die set that goes with this, but I love this for vintagey looking. I have other vintage stamp sets too, which I may or may not bring in. And then I have my Distress Oxide vintage photo and or tea dye, and then I found several. I don't know if I'll use this one. It's too curly like, but I have my favorite Dollar Tree vintagey looking lace, which I can maybe stain a little. I also have this one which lays nice and flat. I like this one for binding on books because it folds over nice. I might not use that for this, but we'll see. And then I found this because I thought, I don't know, it might even be vintage ribbon because it was only 99 cents wherever. I think I got it at a yard sale. but isn't that color a pretty much perfect match for that? So I don't know if she likes that color, but yeah. It may not, I don't know how much of it'll show with what I have planned. We'll see. So I'm thinking I'll put this one back away and just use those. So that's other products I brought in, like the Julie Nutting pad. I couldn't believe I hadn't even opened this. It's called Buff, and it has darker colors as well, but I wasn't, this one I like, but the color is not good with what I have here. They're all good, this one too. But the only thing I don't like is it's white on this one too, is white on the back. So this is the one I'm pretty sure, yeah, that looks like bigger print. This is the one I pulled out. It's a little bit different. Well, there's this one that's a little lighter, but I went with the second one. I guess that's the same. And there's a lot of sheets of it in here, so if I need more, I can pull more out. So that's what I'm going to use for accent, like tags and stuff. So wish me luck. See you soon. Hi everyone. I have finished my project for Crafting with Isabel's birthday challenge, with the exception of I haven't made her card yet. I am going to make her card out of this piece of paper, but I haven't done it yet, so that you'll have to watch her channel to see her card if she shares it. So I decided to make her a little booklet, which I hope qualifies as vintage. It might have too much red and pink on it, but I put some things in it that don't have that. So even if she can't use the entire little booklet, it might be too tall also. I don't know. I can't remember the size she said. I think it was 5 7/8 by 7 or 8, something like that. So if that's the case, this is 4 inches wide by not quite by like 5 7/8. So I think she'll be able to use it, but she may not want to in her junk journal. So some things I used on the front only, I used these Stampin' Up. These are new adhesive back cork rounds, and I used the larger size. And I mentioned this before, Notes of Nature, and here are the dies that went with it. I did use this. I don't think I used any of the other dies, but I used this stamp, this stamp, this stamp, this stamp, this stamp, and for the sentiment on the front, this one. I love this set. I also did use this large tag die and the reinforcers, and of course the paper I already showed you. For a few areas I used this corner rounder. I used my Distress Oxides. I think I shared that with you already. And I brought in, out of necessity mostly, this washi tape. This was from Globland, I believe. It came in a 2-pack of these boxes, and this is sort of a neutral color, so I used that. And I had one craft doily I found, and I just cut a little bit off, and I used the other part of it somewhere else. This is the double ribbon from, forgive my reach, Michael's, apparently. Yes, this was my favorite Michael's ribbon, and I needed to put them on the front because, especially this side, where I scored it, it was tearing just a little bit, so I put the washi over it. All right, let's go through this. So when you open it up, there's a tall pocket. I made a tag. Oh, this is using this tag topper punch, scallop tag topper. I think that's retired now. Don't hold me to that. The Dollar Tree ribbon, this other ribbon that matches the flowers in here, and this, I don't know where this came from, but I still have a little bit of it left. It's a pretty thick, kind of a jute twine, or just jute you call it, trim, I don't know. So to break up all the purpley red, I used, this is that Julie Nutting paper, and I did stamp on it with my Distress Oxide in Vintage Photo. I mostly use Vintage Photo. I left the back white for writing on, journaling if she wants to, or she can add more distress ink if she doesn't like that. Here, I had this little piece already cut. All I did was round the corner, and I actually think I trimmed it down a little bit, but I like those flowers and they match these. And this is the Julie Nutting paper. This paper is pretty thin, so I die cut the tag twice. This is from the Stampin' Up! Collection, which I stamped on in both Vintage Photo as well as when sorry about that, I bumped my computer and it turned the video off. Anyway, whenever I add a touch of pink or red, it's Mary Merlot, which is now a retired color, also stamped off, but that's what this color is. So I just put that in here like this, or you can put it in upside down, and this is light enough that you can write on here if you want to. Actually, this side is, but I left it pretty plain because I don't know how she'll use them. This is a side oh, I forgot to mention, I just had a little scrap of this music note paper, so I corner rounded it and I put it down with tear and tape because I wanted it to stick to that washi. And all I have in here is a little piece of paper that was already previously cut, and I thought maybe she can use that somewhere as a tuck spot in her journal. This is part of the Stampin' Up! Retired paper. This is using the die from the Notes of Nature. And I love the texture it gives. And that's all I felt like I wanted to put on there. And I die cut that out of the Julie Nutting paper. Here's part of that doily that I cut off over here. And I put it on there and tucking, that's just a writing journaling spot, a tuck thing. This was a scrap I had. It's the reverse side of this, I believe. That could be a photo mat, or she could add a lighter piece of something to put something on it if she wanted to. Oh, and by the way, this whole booklet, the structure of it is made out of one piece of designer series paper. It's made out of this paper, the whole 12 by 12, and I followed a tutorial. I think her channel name is Pink Strawberries, and I will link the tutorial down in the description below in case you're interested in trying it too. Now, all the tuck spots and the way I decorated it are mostly mine. I mean, she did put like ephemera or something on one of these pages. I think she actually had it here. I can't remember. Anyway, this was her idea, a piece of paper. I think she put some kind of ephemera here. I have this ephemera. Let's see if I can tell where I got it from. Tuesday Morning in 2019, apparently. It's by Punch Studio. And I pulled out some that I felt like the colors went with it. And this has a little hummingbird on. This is the Julie Nutting paper, and I stamped on it with several of the stamps out of Notes of Nature. This is a piece of vellum. I tacked it down with tear and tape. I tacked this whole thing down with tear and tape. And I put another piece of tear and tape here to put this ribbon across. And then this is stamped on with, I think it's called Saddle Brown. Hang on. Oops. I can't get to it, but I'm pretty sure the color is Saddle Brown. 1 second. Let me see if I can get. I did it again, guys. I have too much on my desk. Sorry. Stays on Saddle Brown because it's stamping on vellum. This is solvent ink. And so that shouldn't rub off. And these are various stamps from the Notes of Nature. I used some of the splatter. I didn't want to cover up this too much, but I did put some little dots there. Some of the leaf, the little flower a couple times, and then part of this field note over here. I just like the way that looks. And so she can, journal here, or this is white on the back. She could journal up here too. Now she likes this, but doesn't like all this pink in the background. She can just cut this off, this part off, because it's only attached at the top. and put it down in a journal however she would like. In fact, she could cut it here if she doesn't like the red, pinkish purpley red ribbon or whatever it is. That's pinky purple, right? All right, so then over here, I made her a belly band. It is just attached with, this is just here really to show that it's a belly band. I attached it with some of that washi, just roughly pulled it, and the washi's not super sticky, so hopefully she'll be able to pull it up. I mean, if she likes this and wants to keep it this way, she can just glue down the edges, Isabel can. But if she doesn't like it on here, the belly band is removable and can be put on whatever she wants. The backing is a piece of the Julie Nutting paper. And then this is the, I think that's the, nope, that's the reverse of this paper, this pink. And this is the reverse of this paper. And what I did for those, I have this, I don't remember if this was a Tim Holtz. Yes, this is a Tim Holtz, what do you call this thing? Paper scraper? I don't know, you scrape the edges with it so you don't ruin your scissors basically. You can do it with scissors if you have an old pair, but it just tears gently the edges of your paper like a deckled look, right? But I didn't have any deckled rectangles like long enough like that. These are an old retired Stampin' Up! Leaf punch, but I actually trimmed some of the leaves down because they were too big and sticking out too far over the belly band. I punched out a little scallop circle, I believe it's a 1 inch, out of the Julie Nutting paper, and I fussy cut this flower out of a scrap and just bump that up on dimensionals. And then this is a pocket. Now I think in her video she didn't tape the bottom down or glue it down. She had cord wrapped around and this was all just open. I didn't like that, so I closed it and made it into a real pocket from the top. But I made her a double pocket. This is out of a piece of paper. I figured this is kind of, to me, not the prettiest, but I figured if she uses this in a junk journal, that'll probably be glued down, at least on 2 sides. So I made her another pocket she can use if she so chooses. I tore, I didn't use this thing. I tore the papers. This is the Julie Nutting. This is out of this stuff. See, this paper from Stampin' Up! is really, it's thin. See, it's really pretty thin. Some of their papers are heavier, but this one is thin. So I always felt like I had to back it on something else. So I left this pretty plain, except that on this pink one that looks like this, I did use the field note stamp a couple times and the stamp that looks like this on it. And I think that's all I did for that. So that's in there. I have another tag, Julie Nutting paper. Again, this paper stamped on. And I just have gift of now. Oh, I followed another tutorial to do a double pocket, but I actually made a mistake. You're supposed to use 8.5 by 11-inch paper, and I use 6.5 by 11-inch paper, so it's got a little taller and skinnier, but it actually worked out better for my purposes. And this is the paper that has the green on the back. And this, it's again one sheet of paper I cut down the wrong way. But I used it and it worked. And then this was not part of the double pocket tutorial. Oh, and this tutorial was by somebody, I think her name was Jessica Taylor. I will link that tutorial down below too. It's an older tutorial for making a card, double pocket card. But I thought, how perfect for a journal, right? So I'm gonna get better at these. This piece was actually cut off of here because I manually cut this on a curve because that's what the lady in the tutorial did, and I kind of like that. I actually trimmed down over here just a smidgen because I didn't want it to interfere with the fold, the crease. And then I did stamp on this before I put this on with the little flower. I stamped on this part and this part in Mary Merlot, stamped off the dots and the flower. I think that's all I used on that. And so then I just had, out of that same ephemera pack I showed you, I'm gifting her a butterfly, another hummingbird, and in front of it all, happy birthday to you. Now I'm probably also going to send her some extra of the papers that I used, including a piece of the Julie Nutting cut down, you know, like this, in case she wants to use it and do more in this. And I have some other bigger pieces, plus her card. So I'll put them in like a plastic bag with a bag topper or something. And yeah, that's my project. I hope by the time you see this, Isabel should have gotten her package. And I'm going to try not to post this until she's actually seen, I know that she's actually seen it. Whether or not she does a video, I'll message her and say, did you get your package? So that's what I have. Let me know if you think this is vintage or not. I mean, I still have some white showing because the back of the pockets on some of them, that Julie Nutting paper is white, and I didn't color the back because I figured it would be glued down to be a edge pocket. And I didn't put anything on the back because I thought, you know, somewhere, if she uses this in a journal, actually uses the whole booklet, this part here would probably be what gets glued down. But she can take it all apart and do whatever she wants with it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you think this is vintage. I kind of do. I like it. But, you know, I have different tastes than a lot of people, so I don't know. And I like this darker red. I just felt like this whole paper had a more vintagey look, but it's very flowery. It might be too bright for vintage, and that's why I put in some pieces like this, and even she could cut this down, and the belly band, this flower could come off, you know. It's only on by a dimensional, and she could put, just stamp a little word there, or put something else there if she wanted to. And maybe I'll change this paper out. I don't know. I kind of like that light green. It has blue. I was originally going to do blue, but I decided not to. I think I'm going to leave the green there. It's something a little different, but I'll gift her this piece. So, yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. I'll talk to you again very soon. Hugs, love, and peace.